The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. This is a great say by Aristotle. With this, we'll start today's class. Today, we have to solve one more problem on spring. The question statement is like this: a helical spring is to be designed for a operating load range of 1 kilonewton to 1.3 kilonewton. The initial compression of spring is 50 mm for the load of 1 kilonewton. Assume the spring index 10. The shear stress in the spring material is 480 meganewton per meter square and modulus of rigidity is 82.75 giganewton per meter square. This is the given problem. Now we'll list out the data for the given problem. A helical spring is to be designed for a operating load range of 1 kilonewton to 1.3 kilonewton. That is initial load F1 that is equal to 1 kilonewton, which is increasing to F2 that is 1.3 kilonewton. So F1 is equal to 1 into 10 to 3 Newton and F2 is equal to 1.3 kilonewton. The initial compression of spring is 50 mm. So initial deflection he has given y1 is equal to 50 mm for the load of 1 kilonewton. Assume the spring index as 10. So C is equal to 10, that is equal to capital D by small d, capital D is equal to 10D. The shear stress in the spring material is 480 meganewton per meter square. So tau is equal to allowable shear stress, tau is equal to 480 meganewton per meter square, that is equal to 480 Newton per mm square. And modulus of rigidity is 82.75 giganewton per meter. So modulus of rigidity G is equal to 82.75 giganewton per meter square is equal to 82.75 into 10 to the 3 Newton per mm square. And here the question is designed for helical spring is designed. So we need to design a helical spring, means we need to find wire diameter D, mean diameter capital D, inner diameter of the spring called Di, outer diameter of the spring called D naught, deflection Y, since he has given the Y value, but here we are supposed to find one more unknown deflection, that is for final load of 1.3 kilonewton. Number of active coils I, free length L naught, solid length L, pitch P. These are all the various unknowns we are supposed to find. Soon after listing the data, now we are supposed to list out the formulas that is required to solve this particular problem. So design of spring. So wire diameter is required. D is equal to, that can be evaluated by using equation number 11.1c, page number 169. The equation is tau is equal to 8f into d into k divided by pi d cube. So here the values of k is unknown and capital D we have 10 times the d from the given data. So f value he has given. F we should consider either least that is initial or final load, that we will discuss later, and shear stress he has given, and wall stress correction factor k is equal to question mark, that we supposed to find to get the unknown d. K is equal to, from equation 11.2a, page number 169, K is equal to 4C minus 1 divided by 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 divided by C, where C is nothing but ratio capital D by D or spring index. And mean diameter of the spring called D, capital D, that can be evaluated by using spring index, capital C is equal to capital D by D. Next, outer diameter of the spring coil DI. DI is equal to capital D minus small d. And outer coil diameter D naught is equal to, D naught is equal to mean coil diameter D plus wire diameter small d. And number of active coils I. This can be obtained by using deflection equation, that is equation number 11.5a, page number 170. That equation is y is equal to 8 into fd cube I divided by gd raised to 4. Next, free length L naught, that can be evaluated by using equation number 11.8a, page number 174. So L naught that supposed to be greater than or equal to I plus 2 into d plus y plus a. Next, solid length L is equal to question mark, that can be evaluated by using equation L is equal to I plus 2 into d. Next, pitch P we have to find. Pitch P is equal to L naught, that is equal to I into P plus 2 times d. Next, spring scale or rate of stiffness is required, since here two deflections for the corresponding to loads. That's why that equation also we supposed to refer. That is from figure 11.4, page 170. The ratio F1 by Y1 is equal to F2 by Y2. This is the various equations that is required to solve this particular problem. Soon after listing out various formulae, now we'll go ahead with the solution. First main heading, that is the design of spring. In that, first unknown is wire diameter D, that can be evaluated by using equation shear stress tau is equal to 8 into F into D into K divided by pi d cube. We'll call that as equation number 1 for time being, where Wahl's stress correction factor K is equal to, that K is equal to 4C minus 1 divided by 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 divided by C. In this relation, we are supposed to substitute the value of uh, spring index C that he has given in the problem, that is 10. So K is equal to 4 into 10 minus 1 divided by 4 into 10 minus 4 plus 0.615 divided by 10. By simplifying, we are getting value of K is equal to 1.14. Now substitute this value in equation number 1. We are getting 480, that is equal to 8 into 1.3 into 10 to the 3. So here please make sure, here I have given here we took F is equal to F1, the F2 maximum load 1.3 into 10 raised to 3 into 10D into 1.14 divided by pi d cube. So the value of diameter D we are getting 8.867. Now we got the value of wire diameter D is equal to 8.867 mm, but it is not final. We must refer the standard values by referring table 11.2, page number 188. Here in the last line, he has given 6.5 to 11 with the increment of 0.5, means as per our value what you have got 8.867. For that, the nearest value is 8.5 or 9. We have to go always for safer design, means the diameter D supposed to be higher than 8.87, that is D is equal to 9 mm, that we have to select. This is the value of D wire diameter, D is equal to 9 mm. This finalization we have to do. After obtaining the value of wire diameter D, now we'll evaluate the mean diameter of the spring coil capital D. That is by using a spring index equation. Capital C is equal to capital D by D. So 10 is equal to capital D by 9, or capital D is equal to 90 mm. This is the required value of mean diameter of the spring coil, that is capital D is equal to 90 mm. So soon after, wire diameter and mean diameter of the coil will evaluate other dimensions such as inner and outer diameter of this spring coil. So inner diameter of the spring coil di, that is equal to capital D minus small d, means mean coil diameter minus wire diameter. So 90 minus 9. So we are getting the value inner diameter of the spring coil di is equal to 81 mm. Inner coil diameter di is equal to 81 mm. Now evaluate outer coil diameter D naught. D naught is equal to capital D plus small d. D naught is equal to capital D is nothing but mean coil diameter, that is 90 plus wire diameter D 9 mm. So outer coil diameter D naught is equal to 99 mm. This is the other dimensions of helical spring. Now very important entity, that is number of active coil I is required. So here active coil is nothing but how many number of turns are under action, and rest 2 is there, 2 more, that is ground, that is used to connect, that need not be considered. So here number of active coil I is required, that can be evaluated by using equation deflection y is equal to 8 into Fd cube I divided by capital G d raised to 4. We'll substitute the initial load F1, so because we know deflection Y1, deflection Y2 we don't know. If suppose if you are substituting deflection instead of Y1 as Y2, if you are substituted mean, then you have to substitute F2. So now here I substituted Y1 and F1. So equation has changed to deflection Y1 is equal to 8 into F1 d cube I divided by G d raised to 4. We'll substitute the value. Y1 is 50, 8 into F1 is y1 into 10 to the 3 into capital D is 90 that is the mean diameter of the coil, 90 cube into I, that we have to find. Modulus of rigidity G is 82.75 into 10 raised to 3 into wire diameter D, that is 9 raised to 4. By simplifying this particular, we are getting the value I is equal to 4.65, or that is equal to 5 coils or turns, that we have to get. Yes, we got number of active coils I is equal to 4.65 and rounded that to 5 coils or turns. Now, next unknown, that is a free length L naught, that can be evaluated by using equation L naught is equal to L naught supposed to be greater than or equal to I plus 2 into D plus Y plus A. But here that free length is for final deflection, that we know. Solid length for initial deflection and free length is for final deflection. So we supposed to replace y by y2 in the above equation. So that particular equation will reduce like L naught supposed to be greater than or equal to I plus 2 into D plus y2 plus A. We'll call that as equation number 2, because here we're supposed to find the value A as well as the deflection first. Now by using in page number 174, one of the equation is there. A is equal to x into D into I. It is a factor. A is equal to x into D into I. We'll call that as equation number 3. Now x we have to get, that will be obtained by using figure 11.6, page number 174, that is shown in this particular pic. For D, here we got the value D is equal to 9 mm, but so D we supposed to refer for the curve D is supposed to greater than or equal to 0.8, that is a below curve. For the corresponding spring index C is equal to 10, we are getting the value in and around 2.25, sorry 0.225, but here I took 0.25. You can go for that also. For 10, I took x is equal to 0.25, use the same. So substitute this value in equation number 3. We are getting A is equal to 0.25 into D is 9 into 5. We are getting the value A is equal to 11.25. That value we have to get. Value of A is over, that is 11.25 mm. Now we'll look at the value maximum deflection F2, that is by referring figure that is given, that figure number 11.4. Refer that figure. In that he has given two similar triangles, CA a particular point and CB another particular point. A deflection for the corresponding point A with the horizontal is F1, and corresponding to point B deflection is F2. Now since it is a similar triangle, we can go with the similar triangle property, that is F1 by Y1, that is equal to F2 by Y2. So obviously these two ratios are equal. So now we'll substitute the value F1, that is 1 into 10 raised to 3, and its corresponding deflection Y1, that is 50, that is equal to F2, that is maximum deflection 1.3 into 10 raised to 3 divided by Y2, that is maximum deflection Y2, that we have to find. So Y2 is equal to, after simplification we are getting Y2 is equal to 65 mm. Now substituting these two values A as well as Y2 in equation number 2, we are getting L naught supposed to be greater than or equal to I plus 2 into D plus Y2 plus A is L naught square, that's supposed to be greater than or equal to 5 plus 2 into 9 plus 65 plus 11.25. So we are getting L naught supposed to be greater than or equal to 139.25 mm, or I will take that as 140 mm. This is about free length of a spring. After this, we'll get the value solid length L. Solid length L is equal to I plus 2 into D, that is L is equal to 5 plus 2 into 9. So we are getting solid length of the spring L is equal to 63 mm. Number of turns into diameter, that is solid length L. The final unknown, that is pitch P. It is a corresponding distance between the spring or consecutive distance. Pitch that can be evaluated by using equation free length L naught, that is equal to I into P plus 2 times the D, where I is a spring coil turns, P is pitch, D is a diameter. So L naught I took as 140, that value we are substituting here, 140, that is equal to 5 into P plus 2 into 9, diameter D is 9 mm. So by simplifying this, we are getting a pitch value P is equal to 24.4 mm. By evaluating this pitch, we are comes to the end of the solution of design of spring. Thank you all.